Hey everyone, it is Thursday morning, and I am here today with Krista Martin, who is one of my favorite guests to have here on LinkedIn. And we are live on LinkedIn, but we're also live, Krista, on YouTube and in my um, Facebook group. The LinkedIn, actually, let me share that in case anybody is here and hasn't joined the group yet. LinkedInforWomenCommunity.com get you into that Facebook group. So, Krista and I were just talking about all kinds of things, and we're like, let's just bring this conversation live to our friends online. So that's why we're here. Krista, why don't you introduce yourself to anybody that doesn't know who you are?
Thank you so much. And I just want to say I love that we are like all over the internet right now. We are breaking the internet
Yeah.
with all the, hitting people or reaching people every place they are. But and I agree that the conversations with you are always so much fun, and I never quite know where they're going to go, and they always go great places, which makes it maybe even really part of the fun there. But I'm a really a business growth strategist for coaches that are ready to ditch the overwhelm, ditch the frustration, and really create thriving coaching businesses. And so, our company is all about, I would say, helping a younger version of myself in those earlier stages of building your business. It's hard to figure out what to say, when to say it, how to price your coaching packages. And so really giving coaches exactly what they need to create their most amazing coaching business, which then allows them the flexibility to travel more, to do fun LinkedIn lives with their friends, to whatever that looks like for them.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And it's so true. It's so true because it is. There's so much. There's a lot of information out there. I don't know about you, but I have a hard drive full of information, right?
Yes.
I can't even tell you the UPS delivery guy delivers me actual books because I like actual books all the time. Like I just looked at my pile the other day and said I need to have a rule that says I have to read two before I can buy one. You know,
Oh, I need that rule too.
right? There's a lot of
Yes.
information, but when you're building your business, I think the information isn't what we need as much as the transformation, and that's what I focus on. And I know that's what you focus on, and that's really why I love when you and I are here having these conversations because I think it really helps people understand that you can Google to your heart's content. There's
Yeah.
no end to the internet, but it's the implementation of all of that.
Yes. And I love the example of, saying that if it was just about the information, there would be one diet book and one self-help book, and we'd all be the ideal weight and we'd all be happy. But
Yep.
actually, there's probably 1,000 books that come out on each topic each day.
Right.
And so it is that implementation, that integration, in my opinion, and yours as well, that's what makes the magic happen. And it's not just going out there and immersing ourselves with that information, but it's actually the taking action part that it's easy to hide behind the research a lot of times, or that I just need to know 5 more steps or 14 different ways to do the thing. When in
Yeah.
reality, you just need to do the thing.
Exactly. And there's something to be said for information, right? Like so Krista and I met in 2012
I
when we both took Marie Forleo's B School. And B School's had a lot of evolutions over the years, and I repped it for a long time. Um, but I can tell you that it really gave me a great start. Not that anything in that was earth shattering news that I hadn't heard before, but it was collated in a way that I didn't have to spend hours doing it.
Yes.
I literally, like when I buy a course like that, I do every single thing they say. I'll pause, do what they say, watch another 5 minutes, pause,
Yes.
do what they say, because I don't know what I'm doing, right? So when I invest in a course like that, I do that. But then at some point, you hit a ceiling, right?
Yes.
And so at the time, Chris and I were both had corporate jobs,
Yes.
right? And we kind of had this a similar journey where we both left our corporate jobs right around the same time. So it's been a lot of fun doing this with you, Krista.
I completely
I
agree.
can't
And
wait to see what the next decade does with
yes,
us, right?
I know exactly. Well, we obviously just keep getting more beautiful and beautiful, or
Oh yes, of
I
course,
mean, that's the standard of, just the
of course.
bar we set that's so
And
high.
richer
But
and richer and richer. We're going to be doing it like on
yeah, our
million,
private yacht, or I don't
yeah,
know
million
what.
dollar yacht. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
But you're exactly right that and I remember thinking actually at that time that I thought, okay, I'm just starting my coaching business. I need to invest in this program. And then I'll have everything I need. which is really funny too. I mean, and I don't want to make it sound like we're saying that program isn't awesome, because it's great
Right.
in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But I thought that was all I needed. And there's always more. And then it's not just the information, but like we were saying, you got to do the thing and then see how it works, or try it out, and then you get feedback, which
Right.
is a scary thing. So many people take feedback as failure, but it's really just, hey, that didn't quite work. Okay, guess what? We get to do it differently, or try new things, or do it a different way. So, but we, yes, connected that way. And then seeing the evolution has been so cool for you, or for me to be able to see for you too, of, leaving and fully, I mean, running a team and all that.
Yeah.
It's just really cool to see that what I didn't even know was possible then is what we're living, both you and
Right.
I right now. Like, I would have
Right.
never thought that you and I would be having this conversation in this current state of, both of our businesses growing and having teams and amazing clients and getting to do work with people we love.
I agree. I agree. And when I look back at those days and I look back at the people that we met, I mean, I met so many brilliant people then.
Yeah.
And if I look at the trajectory that a lot of the people have had, I can say that the people that have had the most success are not the people that I continue to take courses. I'm a lifelong learner, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the people that continue to invest in themselves and in their business that have made the biggest impact.
Oh my gosh.
And one of
Without
the
a
things that
doubt.
you and I were alike about from the very beginning was, the income levels that were needed to sustain this. So why don't you talk about, I'll stop talking for a second. Why don't you talk about why you moved into, coaching people really to build profitable coaching businesses and what that looks like?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And it's, I see so many amazing coaches out there. I call it the coach's curse. When you know how great coaching is, you know how transformational coaching can be, but yet you don't have enough, and I say this jokingly, but you don't have enough people to do it to. And, and so that's that frustration that's there. But to your point, leaving a six-figure job, and needing to say, I mean, I had a $10,000 number over my head each and every month. And people say, wow, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And I was like, well, that's what, we bought our house based on that income. And so really having that focus, though, allowed me to say, okay, what's the fastest way to get to that number versus, at first I thought I'm going to sell these courses for $297. I'm going to be sitting on a beach drinking Mai Tais, and just money's
And
going
your
to be
PayPal is going to be binging on your phone.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It has to bing. That's an important part of this vision, is that it's just like binging in your,
Yep.
as you're drinking your fun drink. But then I realized, okay, how many of those do I need to sell to reach my number? How many people do I need to get in front of to sell to that many people? And it started to be very clear very fast that if I sold 2 coaching programs or 3 coaching programs, I not only had fewer people that I needed to actually get in front of, but I could reach my goals quicker.
Yeah.
And so that's the magic of, where I would say we're different than a lot of the coaching programs out there, is that it's really based on real business. And, I jokingly say we began our coaching business because we wanted to do math. Of course, nobody in their right mind really started a coaching business for that reason, but that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is how do we get to the goals, what needs to shift? And then it's not personal. It's just, okay, here's the data. What do we do to make it come to life? And
yeah, but I want to stress one thing you said earlier, when you were like, I have this $10,000 nut I need to cover. As an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean you need to make $10,000 a month. That means that means your business needs to probably make 15 at least, I would think.
yeah,
Bringing in a whole lot more than that. And that's something I feel like so many coaches don't get. That might, like, the equivalent of a 6-figure business is not the equivalent of a 6-figure paycheck when it comes to your personal bank account.
yes, absolutely. And that was something that I learned the hard way, because I actually started out thinking, okay, I was bringing in, or I figured $10,000 coming in, and then taxes and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, that was about what my paycheck was. It's kind of how I did the very fancy math, you could tell there. But it does, then you say, okay, you have a virtual assistant. What about the trainings, the certifications, the programs you're using to,
Right.
run?
It's $10 a month times 100,000 as an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
absolutely. And then, it's, I guess I also don't want to scare people too, to think, oh, you're gonna have all these additional expenses. We can cross that bridge when you get there. But if you're building, just to know that, to really look at your business as a business and look at the costs that literally you have each and every month. And then to me, that makes it even easier to stand in your power and say, guess what? To run my business, it's a $3,000, $5,000 whatever that number is a month.
Mhm.
And so, of course, my investment level to work with me needs to be this dollar amount.
Right.
It's, I
Right.
mean, and talking about, I heard someone say the other day, and I won't get on this total side thing for very long, just real quick, is even think about inflation. We see that in so many places right now, but yet nobody, like, just to even think about how that affects the services that we're offering too.
Mhm.
Everything that we're using now is higher. So, and it's just thinking like a business owner is
Yes.
very different skill set than being a coach. And it doesn't mean you don't get a coach or think like a coach, but
Right.
you absolutely have to have that skill set so that you can grow and leave your corporate job or,
Right.
whatever those goals are. But
And coming from corporate, I didn't get coaches at all. Like I didn't get why I needed a coach. I didn't get that at all. And I remember like thinking like, what the hell is with all this coaching? But the reality is, I mean, I can't think of a single person like from Oprah to Michael Jordan to whoever that is successful and doesn't have a coach.
yeah,
I mean, whatever they do in life and in business, right? I mean, how arrogant are we that we think we can, and we can get to here, right? But I talk
yeah,
to so many women who they've got aspirations up here, but
yeah.
they're still thinking down here. They're not like they don't have their energy and their mindset does not match their aspirations.
No, and exactly. And it's really shifting from that old way of thinking, and I'll jokingly say with clients, we talk about 2026, that version of themselves that's created a $5 million business, whatever their goals are. How
Mhm.
is 2026 showing up today? And that's how I want you to show up, not as in 2021
Yes.
self, because 2021 self keeps creating what 2021 self has created. And
Right.
sometimes we even go backwards. And even, my coach, I've had a coach, at least one coach since I started at all times. And I'll say very wholeheartedly, I have lots of things I get to work on and grow through, and I like to go as fast as possible. So
Mhm.
that helps with all of those. But sometimes we slip in and it's, oh, there's 2010 Krista showed up. Okay, well,
Right.
cool.
Right.
I came to that conversation from a lack mindset. Okay, cool. Let's recalibrate. What does 2026 do? And even that energy shift,
Yep.
just propels you to new results and different things. So I know you and I both are very much of the same belief and always want to learn, always want to grow, because I feel like then we're modeling for our clients what's possible, and we're walking our talk as well. We're not saying do
Yes.
as I say, but not as I do.
Well, let me just stop you for a second and say, anybody that's watching, please jump in with any comments or questions you have for us. Because
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about doing this with Krista is the engagement from you guys and how we can spin this in whatever direction you
Yes.
want it to be. So if you're around and you're watching and you have any questions, please jump in with that.
Yes.
You talk about, I don't actually go as far as 2026. Maybe I should. When I talk to people about LinkedIn, I basically say people think of LinkedIn as a resume, and your resume is all about who you used to be. I want you to position
Yes.
your LinkedIn profile for the person you're becoming for 2026 you, right? Dress for the
Yes.
job you want, right? Show up as the person that already is that person. I don't make stuff up. Like, don't make stuff
Yeah.
up. But I'm sure that there's so much that you're already doing that you can like lean into and really, hold on to that already positions you as that 2026 version of yourself. And
Yes.
that, so I think it's an important concept to have because then we have to like live it, right? Then we have to kind of live it. And
Yes.
I made a decision. I was just a couple days ago, I was sitting in Walgreens parking lot talking to my CFO about something. Right. And she's like, if you really believe that this, and this, then that would be a hell yes. I'm like, you're right. So the fact that it's not a hell yes, Karen, means there's a part of you that still doesn't believe this, whatever it was, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, you're so right. You're so right. And it's
Yeah.
just, but like old Karen jumped in for a second, and it was like, what
Yes.
about that? What about this? What about that? What about that? And, thank God I have a CFO that believes in, my ability to create
Oh,
business that I love. Right. So she was like,
absolutely.
who is
And
this
can
showing up asking that question? Because if you wouldn't be asking that question if you really believed that this was possible for you. So that's such a
yes.
huge part of it too, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. And, when we show up, I'll talk a lot about like 99% commitment versus 100% commitment. It's only 1% difference, but it is a world of difference energy wise, what it takes from you. And I would say 99% commitment is always when I was in my full-time job, because I was like, yes, I'm building my business, but gosh, it's kind of nice having a steady paycheck. Yes, I'm building my business. That back and forth also was how I showed up. It was like, yes, I'm going to do an event. Oh, maybe nobody will show up. Yes, that kind of back and forth. But when you're 100%, you say, okay, what do I need to thrive? What do I need to succeed? And you do those things. And then guess what? You actually succeed because you have the expectation. It's not plan B. This is the plan. It's either this or something better that's going to happen.
Right.
And we act very different in that energy of 100 versus 99%. We work with a coach. We
such a good
provide the
point.
program.
Yeah. It's funny too, because like we started this conversation talking about the days of the 297 and sitting on the 297 course, sitting on the beach. What I think about now is I'll give you an example of this. Like we did our first She's Linked Up live event in Scottsdale, Arizona in October, which was so freaking amazing. Just to be in the energy of all of these women. And it was like a private event. It wasn't open to it wasn't like come if you were interested in it. It was only available to our students that are already in the program, right? So as a live mastermind component to the program. Krista, like I have kids and grandkids and family. I feel like I know gratitude. But let me tell you something, living that gratitude in Technicolor with these brilliant women. So then I was saying, okay, so what do I need to do to continue to live that gratitude? Because that was awesome. And I can't do it all the time because I can't, we'll do maybe 2 a year. But I said, you know what I can do? I can have a holiday party. And I'll just get the few people locally. But what happens then is, and this could not have happened if I was still selling 297 programs. I know how valuable it was, not just for me, but for my students to meet each other in person. And if that means that if I'm throwing a holiday party and I'm going to be in Florida in January and February for a couple of weeks, and already my students are like, we're having a party in Florida. If I want to continue to do that stuff, I have to have the confidence to raise my prices. Right?
Absolutely.
Support those kinds of things, because at the end of the day, that's what my students want. They don't care if it's another $20 or $100 or $1,000.
No,
right? Because they're getting a better value from it, because they're meeting, when they get to meet each other in person, their businesses thrive more because you get to know each other better and support each other. So that coaching, that's kind of where it comes back down to being confident enough to price your services so that if I want to keep doing these things in person and offer them in private just to my students, then I have to really look again at my pricing. And maybe it has to go, maybe it doesn't, right? But
it's
could have this conversation.
Yes
to it at all if I was still selling 297 programs.
Yes, and it's really what I'm hearing you say too is really stepping into what is the experience that your clients really are wanting from work. Not only the great content and training and hard results that they get, but it's also that experience of being with other like-minded people doing really big things. And then also getting more confident themselves because they're saying, oh look, those other people in the program are doing it and getting results too. So guess what? I'm going to really show up as my 2026 self, or whatever that looks like on LinkedIn and otherwise. And when we connect with that energy, it just shifts everything. It really does.
Yeah.
And it's just even practicing being in that energy, visualizing our success for 2 or 3 minutes a day completely transforms the entire day, our entire experience, and how people experience us, which then translates to us attracting those really committed, all-in dream clients that are ready to do the work and get the results.
Yeah. And like those 297 clients might have bought our program from a tweet or from an Instagram post or something, but the people joining our coaching programs are probably talking to somebody before they invest, right? So it's to me, it's all about building relationships. And that's why I love LinkedIn so much, because it's where the relationships happen. It's where you can continue to build relationships to show up on that higher level, right?
Yes. Oh, it's all about the relationships. And that's one of the things I love working with clients for extended periods of time, and I know you're the same with sometimes clients renew or, whatever that looks like, but you really get to know the person and can say or think or know what they are saying or thinking before they maybe even verbalize it. But being able to have those relationships from the very beginning makes doing the work we do so much more rewarding. And it makes it so much more fun to be able to have those people we actually enjoy spending time with, that we get to spend time with in Scottsdale or wherever that is.
And, as their mentor, don't you find that the higher level you can work with people, the less people you have to work with, and the more you can, like, you'll be walking down the street and go, "Ooh, you know what? Let me take a picture of that and send that to Mary because she needs to do that." Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you start thinking of, you get to know them better, and you can support them at an even deeper level because you're, at least my brain never stops.
No, yeah,
So
mine doesn't
yeah.
usually either. Yes. But Karen, one thing I know we were talking about earlier, and it talks about that power of belief too, is really, the question that you get and I get so much, do I even need to do anything this time of year? Because do people really buy in December?
Yeah, yeah. Which was the topic we said we were going to talk about today, and we're
Yes.
20 minutes
Well,
in and haven't started yet. Yeah.
well, that's okay. We always have good stuff that
We're
comes up.
20 minutes in already. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But and so I would love to hear like your opinion on that. I of course have a strong opinion, but
Yeah, I do too. I mean, here's the thing. I think for 100% people buy in December. But maybe your positioning can shift a little bit. First of all, let me just say this. People have budgets that sometimes need to be spent before the end of the year. So like when you say people aren't spending money, there's also people out there going, I got another $20,000 I got to spend in the next 3 weeks. Who's got something they wanted to join, right?
yeah.
So you never don't assume that there's no budget money because there very likely may be, it might be the best time to get that budget money.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Or when people are doing, in corporate, they're planning for the next year and they need to, can go ahead and put that in. But I love that question because it's just a catch 22 in the sense of people saying, well, are people really buying in December? And what
Mhm.
I want to do is the person that's asking me that is ask them right back, well, are you buying anything in December? And
Right.
they're, of course, I'm actually buying double or triple or quadruple what I normally buy. I mean, that's where I actually noticed on Black Friday, I wanted to buy things. Like I didn't even know what I wanted to buy, but I wanted to buy things just because buying is fun. One, but people are in the energy of still, they're looking at, okay, I want to make 2022 awesome. I want to do this thing next or whatever that is. And they're still investing, they're still purchasing things. So if you take your foot off the gas pedal as a business owner, your clients will too. And
Yeah.
they'll actually say, "Oh, Karen actually had a offer, and you didn't, so I wanted to buy in December, so I bought through Karen, or I bought through
Right.
Krista, or
That's
that kind of
exactly
thing."
right. That's exactly right. And you can position it a little bit differently, right? Like one of my clients is a money coach. So we're talking about, do you have everything you need to have in place so that you can kick 2022 off right off the bat?
Totally.
For
Yes.
me, I'm saying let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Let's get your profile out of the way. Let's get some of that stuff out of the way. So when 2022 comes, you can hit the ground because there is a lot of energy with the beginning of the year, but there's
Oh,
so
yes.
much reason to start that work now. You know what I mean? So that you're ready when the new year hits.
Yes, and I think the question for everybody to ask themselves is why is now, why is December, why is November, why is January, whatever month it is, a great time for your customer to decide that yes, now is the time to work with you.
Right.
Because um says the year is over after Halloween. Oh, yes. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know who Paul Castro is, but I would have to disagree with that. I mean, I think I think you have to shift your messaging, or you shifting your messaging might be helpful, but I completely disagree with that, Julio.
My experience has been completely opposite of that as well, in that we've had some of our best months, very consistently year for year towards the end of the year after Halloween. And so that's interesting that's and we also create what we believe. So if we want
Yeah.
the year to be over after Halloween and that's what we believe, then guess what? That's fine. But the people that I know and hang out with are looking to really not take their foot off the gas pedal, but actually keep it steady or push down more and really accelerate into 2022 versus having that January 1st panic attack of, okay, what do I have to build or do? Because I have nothing going, you
Well,
know.
we talk about this. So my program has our 9-week accelerator program, and then we have a back end mastermind, our She's Linked Up Society.
Yeah.
And what I did for our back end mastermind about a month ago was I addressed this question. I said, I know a lot of you are thinking that, what am I going to do? I said, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to flip that. And I challenged them to do daily videos until the end of the year. And a live video like this is different because this was organized a little bit, organized and planned, and we're going 24 minutes, right? Or however long we go. But typically you can just go live for 10 or 15 minutes to give a short little snippet, and you can do that. And I was doing it every single day in the beginning of the pandemic, purely for myself, to get myself up and dressed and showered every day when I leave my house. And I can't even tell you, business was coming in like from all these crazy places. So one of my students, they got a 10-day bumper. They cannot do it for 10 days.
I
I
like
don't
this.
even know yet what the prizes were going to be. There's no winners, but everybody gets a prize that does it. It's a participation award. Um, but one of our students just yesterday told me that somebody watched her live video, told somebody else about her, that other person booked a call with her, and she sold her a VIP day.
Yeah. And that wouldn't have happened if she started coasting this time of year.
Because she was just showing up and showing up and showing up. And it sounds like a lot to go live every day, but it's really not. I mean, it doesn't take that much time. But to me, I felt like I wanted to immerse them in it so that they could see the power of that visibility. And they're, she sold a VIP day to somebody that didn't even watch her live video. It was somebody else
that's well, and it's that consistency is, if builds trust, but it also is the magic to building our business. Because when we build trust in ourselves, hey, I said I was going to show up for the everyday LinkedIn video challenge, and I did, and look, actually got positive results. So that builds the belief. They keep doing that, moving forward. But it also, our clients want to know that we're there for them consistently too, or potential clients, even if, of course, Karen's live on LinkedIn, it's Tuesday at whatever time, or, whatever that is. And, we were talking about that the other day, even just how can you be, of course, Krista's there. Of course, Karen's there.
I can't believe you're saying that. That was the action. That was the topic. That exact words, of course this is happening, was the topic of our Monday mindset call this week that I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
See, so we are in sync, Krista. It's happening. But what else is course? I made them come up with 50 things, 50 reasons that, of course, everything's happening for them the way it's supposed to happen in their life and their business.
And when you step into that energy, we don't look for reasons that this isn't going to work or that this isn't going to, come to fruition. And I love that your client likely didn't anticipate that she was going to get a VIP client out of it. Yeah. But what a beautiful outcome. She said, I always look at marketing as energy. And, you're doing LinkedIn, whatever it is, you're marketing, you're creating energy, and it comes back to you in so many different awesome ways.
It's so true. And here's the thing about that, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but the reason that I love LinkedIn in general, but the reason I love that model and this model, right? Like you being on here with me, is that we're not pitching ourselves for clients. We're not cold calling, we're showing up. Some of your clients are going to see me for the first time. Some of my clients are going to see you for the first time. And what happens then is there's additional credibility. If I meet somebody in an Uber shared as I'm driving somewhere or on a train, and I say, I teach LinkedIn marketing, they're not just going to hand me their credit card and say, wow, I need that. But if they watch this and you invited them to watch it, I've got that additional credibility. So when you're building these relationships, and that's why I like the live video, because you're showing up as an influencer. You're giving them a reason to understand that you are worth their investment. And when people start talking about you when you're not in the room, that's what we want. And that's what happens. But that can absolutely continue through the end of this, through every week of history.
No, absolutely. And so it's just looking at, okay, one of the questions I love asking people too, or asking clients is, okay, what are you making that mean? Or what are you making up here? Because we make up all kinds of stuff as humans. That has to be hard. It has to be slow. Nobody buys in December. And, for people that are really committed and saying, okay, 2022 is going to be the year, that is I'm calling it the fun, thinking of it as a leap year. And I actually need to look on the calendar and see if it is a leap year. But and what I mean by that is, I figure I'll probably confuse people, so maybe I call it something else, but it's your breakout year. That's a better way to say it than your leap year. Because people, are you checking the calendar? I was like,
yeah, I am.
But I was thinking,
I can't tell fast enough. So
no, but what I mean by that is, for 2022 to be awesome, that means we really stay focused. Right now. We don't stop because it's December, because we think people might think we're spamming. We show up consistently. The right person is going to say, guess what, Karen, I heard you talking about LinkedIn. I've been wanting to learn about that. And now is a perfect time for me, because I want to have it in check and lined up and ready to go before January. Or
But and
You know,
here's the other thing, Krista. I'm gonna go a little out there on this, but because it just came to me, but I think it might actually be a good analogy. This is not our parents' marketing year anymore. You know what I mean? We don't hate our jobs and
yes,
can't wait till Christmas break, right? If you are building your business, a business that you love, talking to people that you can't wait to get on the phone with, then you
yes,
don't like, yes, you should take a vacation, but you don't need a vacation. You know what I
yes,
mean? You're like to me, of course, of course you want to take some days off and you need self-care. And I'm not saying work I'm like, I'm not saying work 7 days a week. I'm not saying work
yeah,
15 hours a day. But if you're building a business that is one that you love with people that you love doing and in a way that feels good here, then
yes,
what else are you going to be doing? Like that was really one of my challenges during the
yeah,
pandemic. I'd be like, I can't keep working until 8 o'clock at night. And then it'd be 5 o'clock and I'm sitting on the couch going, well, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I can't do anything else. I can't go out, like I'm just going to go back and work a little bit more,
yeah.
so because I love what I do. So, I think that that's different than 20, 30, 40 years ago where
That's very true.
we had 4 weeks, 2 weeks vacation and, couldn't wait for the Christmas break and all that other stuff. It's different now.
Yeah. And if you give yourself permission to say, why is it great for the ideal client, the person on the other end of this video, my dream person to work with, however you want to think of it, why is it great for them to say yes to themselves? Because
Mhm.
really that's what they're investing in when they're investing in you or me or anybody else is they're investing in their results. And why is now a great time? And when we get clear on that, it doesn't feel spammy or it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm pushing it, saying now is a great time because you want to kick butt 2022. Now is a great time because you're going to be your healthiest version of you in
Yep.
2022. Now is a great time for a million different reasons.
Yep.
And too much in life, I think we have reasons to wait. And there's really never a good reason to wait. And that I've come up with. Anyways,
I
I've come up with
agree. I
they tend to be
agree. Well,
excuses.
Krista, I'm going to just quickly say, if anybody wants to know a little bit what it looks like to be invited to my Christmas parties and all these other things, book a call at KarenYankovich.com/call because we can talk about whether it's a fit to work with you moving into 2022.
Yeah.
Krista, tell everybody what you've got going on.
Yes, yes. And that's what I really wanted to share as well is, for those of you that are watching this and you're saying, okay, I'm all in. 2022 is going to be my leap year. 2022 is going to be the year we really create breakout results. And you're looking at leveraging speaking, which I would say what Karen and I are doing right now is a version of speaking.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at really leveraging speaking to grow your business, fill your pipeline with leads, and also fill your client programs, then we're hosting our last workshop of the year. It's actually next week. And it's called Speak to Profit. And you can register, you can grab your seat completely free. It's makeyourmark.com / and that's all spelled out, Speak to Profit.
I
But
actually
this,
still have that set up from the last time we did this.
yeah, oh, good. Perfect. Yes, that's even better. And what I really want people to know is that there's a difference between what I see most people doing, which is speaking to educate
Mm.
versus speaking to activate. And by the way, if you
Oh,
don't know the
yeah.
difference in what I'm saying right here, you better get yourself to that workshop. But
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
learning how to every time you speak to help that person see what they need to see to take action and knowing every time you speak you're going to get clients from it, you're going to get new people on your email list, you're going to whatever your call to action is. And learning this skill set isn't something that most people even is on their radar. They think, oh, I went and I did speaking. Well, great, did you get clients?
Right.
Because if
How
you
many? I
didn't,
can't even tell you how many talks I did before I realized that. And it was
it's
fun. It's fun to have a microphone, but it wasn't, there's a lot of things. Sitting on the beach is fun too, right? If I'm not going to get
yes,
clients,
well, and it's
so
yeah, and it's, to me, like I love geeking out even on like the science of a client converting talk, like
mhm,
getting in the nitty gritty to, for me, understanding that and then being able to teach that so that people can say, okay, this is the why I'm doing the thing in
mhm,
the talk that actually activates people to say yes to the offer is, again, it's just not something that people normally do. And I just see so many people wasting time speaking to educate, which I did for a very long time. I
mhm,
gave away great information. People left and they felt overfull, but they never took action. And so
right.
that's a disservice to them. So that's what we're doing next week. And I'm beyond excited. We've hosted this one time before. It was like the best results that people got, breakthroughs. I mean, we're also teaching how to get booked on more stages too. So it's really helping people. My goal with having it in December is so that they have the plan for how to make 2022 that leap year, that breakout year, whatever
Right.
that looks like in their coaching business.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you guys should totally check that out. Makeyourmark.com/speak to profit gets you to Krista's free workshop, right?
Yes,
That's
yeah,
free, right? Yep.
100% free, 200% awesome is what I like to say.
Ah,
But I mean, just throwing a little marketing there. But Karen, I always love doing this, and we're going to do more of this. That's one of my
yes.
goals for 2022 is
Yep.
because there's just so much that we can talk about and share and inspire and help people show up as their 2026 self.
Yeah, hang on. We got another question here. So Julio's saying, how much holiday communication do you guys do? I feel like clients get overloaded with this type of communication. Also love Krista's comment about clients still having needs during the holidays. Stay attentive to that. We'll talk about that, Krista. I mean, I don't do a lot of holiday. I do when you say holiday communication, my communication doesn't change much through the
Yeah,
holidays. I might talk about different topics, like my podcast is probably talking more about end of year things now. But I didn't do Black Friday deals. I mean, I'm not judging people that do. I just to
yeah.
me that doesn't fit in with my brand, so I don't do very much holiday communication at all.
And
Um,
Karen, I 200% agree with you on that. And I have clients that say, okay, we're going to do a holiday sale or a different thing. And I have a little bit of a nails on chalkboard reaction to when I hear people doing a sale, because
yeah,
to me, I'm like, but that's the value. And so I have seen people say, guess what? I'm doing a special offer for, Black Friday. You can get a VIP day. I don't normally offer it. That kind of thing I can get
right,
behind.
yeah,
But we do our regular communications. We don't let up because it's the holidays and not communicate.
right,
But I mean, I'll send a Thanksgiving message, special on that day kind of thing. But it really is still, we're running a business, and
right.
we're not saying we're on vacation. And so there's a little bit maybe of holiday included in the messaging,
Mhm.
but
Right.
it's still I would
Right.
say the
I'll
very
talk maybe
same.
more about being grateful for my clients and things like that. But I also think that don't you haven't you ever gotten the emails from somebody that's like to all of my clients that I love, thank you so much for being here with me this year. And you're like, who are you? Like
Yeah.
I've never gotten another email from you that I can remember. And now all
Yeah.
of a sudden I'm getting like just wanted to remind you that I'm here with you on how like that to me is worse than like just build it in. Just build it in is how
Yeah.
I think because I think the consistency of your messaging and the consistency of your outreach. And by the way, for those of you that know me, when I say consistency of outreach, I'm never ever saying connect with 100 people a week. I'm not talking about 5 people a week. Continue to do that through the holidays. Continue
Yes.
to build those relationships. Continue to get on the phone with people. Talk to people now about getting on their speaking calendars for January, February,
Yes.
March, right? Getting on their like now's a great time to be having those kind of communications.
Absolutely.
So I, I it's interesting, Julio, also about overloading people with this type of communication. Um, I send out a lot of emails. Those of you on my email list, I get send out a lot of emails. And I had somebody just 2 weeks ago, maybe, book a call with me from one of those emails who said, "Thank you so much for emailing me all the time because that I watched your webinar. I wasn't sure if it was a good fit or not. So I didn't really book a call, but I got all your emails. I keep getting your emails. You know what? You sound like you really want me to get a call." So, and she joined my program. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So even when I feel like, is this too much communication? If it is for them, and then they unsubscribe, I don't care. They're not
Yeah.
really, who cares, right? Which is a big change from me 10 years ago, by the way.
Yes, that was 20,
Right.
I don't know,
20,
whatever year, Karen, showing up
2015
there
Karen
doing this
cared
stuff.
if people unsubscribed.
Yeah.
Um, and cared about how many people were on her email. I don't care at all how many people are on my email list now.
Yeah. I'd like to know how many people are opening it, and that's what's important, how many people are engaging, that kind of thing. And then we go, but to me, and I think, some people love getting in the whole marketing spin. And I think you and I are similar in that we don't necessarily do a sale or that kind of thing, but we still just talk about, it's Thanksgiving. We're grateful for, this
Right.
beautiful community. And here's the thing you need to know about LinkedIn on Thanksgiving, or,
Exactly.
about
Exactly right.
kind
Yep.
of, so it's still value and creating that connection in that way. But there are some people who go over the top, and actually I feel like that, I don't know, that's just not the same. So
Yeah, yeah. So
in my
Julio, send out those messages, but don't just have a consistent message. And there's no one right way to do this, by the way. There's my way, there's Krista's way, there's your way. You know, I, you know, I what works for me if you want to join my program, do everything I say, and then you'll have results. You know what I mean? And if you don't join my program and then do it your way, I will say that, but that doesn't mean my way is the only way.
Yes.
So I think that take what works for you, and then like Krista said, measure it. Are your emails getting opened?
Yeah.
How are people feeling about that?
And also look at yourself and how you feel based on the kind of communication you're getting from people too. Do you like getting messages all through the holidays? Do you not? And kind of looking at it that way. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So
It's
true.
because we get tired of it way before. We've said it 2,000 times before someone hears it for the first
Exactly.
time. So
Exactly.
it's,
Exactly. So many things have changed from in my business from my first days in online marketing. And for the better, in that I wouldn't change what I did then though. I think I needed the path that I had, but you know what I mean? But
yes.
now yeah, I think that you're right. It is easy to get tired of it. And
And sometimes that could be the way to maybe make it a little more fun. You do bring in a sentence or two about what you ate for Thanksgiving or, that kind of thing if you want to, but it is making sure it feels good, it feels aligned, and that's when marketing, I think we're doing great marketing when it starts to feel easy because it's the same thing we've done a million times and people are getting great results.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right,
So
Krista, 40 minutes. That's crazy. That was
I
fun
know.
though. This was
Yes,
fun.
and I'm like, I could keep going for another
I
hour because I
know. We
know.
just need to
Yeah,
like Krista and I, as good of friends as we've been since 2012, have also never been in the same room at the
which
same
we have
time.
to do,
We
and
were
we
both in
only
Arizona at the same time. That was the closest we might have ever gotten.
we
We
did, which
we were
was
both in
funny.
like the Phoenix area, but we weren't able to connect. But I
Yeah.
think we need to book something. I think we need to have 3 days first to get it all out, and then just
Yes, because
talk.
I think otherwise you and I would sit and chit chat, and everybody would be like, "Hello, we have questions." But we'll think about that for something
All
fun
right,
to
you
do
guys,
together
it was
next
so
year.
good to hang out with you, Krista. Everybody that's watching this, definitely go to Krista's Speak to Profit. Hold on, let me get you that again. So they go to makeyourmark.com/speak to profit. Get on that. It's completely free. It's brilliant. I know that some of my students joined that last year and then ultimately joined your program. So I was happy to see that. And
Awesome.
I love that. And that's what I
Yeah.
want, because I want you to have the best of the best. And that's Krista.
Oh, you're so awesome, and I appreciate you saying that. And same thing back to you. And I know we've talked about how we can, really share
Mhm.
this energy and share because everybody's ready at different times for different mentors and all that good stuff too. And so you're absolutely kicking butt and taking names when it comes to making big moves on LinkedIn. So
All right.
amazing.
Everybody have a great Thursday. And I'm sure Chris and I will be back here together
Yes,
soon. All
sounds
right.
fantastic.
Bye, guys.
Bye.